How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all revved up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Roberto Ferri. I believe he's Italian. Thought it would be kind of appropriate seeing as it's Valentine's Day, even though this probably won't end up being seen till the day after Valentine's Day. Let me know, comments down below. But he is a wonderful, wonderful painter and artist. He's got a little bit of almost kind of some Dali in him, a little bit of Michelangelo and the old Renaissance painters, but he is just a master of his craft for sure. But like I said, he does use some strange imagination to push his imagery even further, and I think is just wonderfully creepy and amazing at the same time. Like this arm that's bleeding into the chest that's pulling apart, and then but if you just look at just the structure and the way that he has light set up and the way that he renders form, it's just gorgeous stuff. So I really urge you guys to check out more from him. I mean, check this out. This is where it would almost be, originally when I looked at it, I thought it was like an extra toe that was pulled off, but now that I look at it again, it's like a extra bone or horn or something that's sticking through the skin there, and then you've got these little slits here that just cause you to want to know more. What's the next part of this story? Just wonderful stuff. And this one here, really cool with blending almost like a mermaid or a fin type leg. Just beautiful stuff. So I urge you guys to go check out more stuff from him. I will throw a link in the description below. But I did want to share a quote with you guys from him. Unfortunately, like I said, I believe he's Italian. It's pretty sure. And he hasn't done too much that's translated into English or even that's written down that I could find for myself. A couple of video interviews, but unfortunately I don't have a translator handy. But his book was called Beyond the Senses, so I thought we could talk about that for a second, about trying to create work that isn't just pleasing to the eye, or isn't just pleasing to the ear, or isn't just, you know, hitting those normal senses, but you're creating stuff that maybe sparks the imagination rather than the senses. Like you know, like I said, in his work, you can definitely see that he does that. You know, it's you start to think differently when you look at his stuff. You start to think in a different manner, and you start to compose these stories or these narratives to try to explain what's going on in his imagery, so that your senses that you're normally used to have some where to go with it. So it really is about going beyond the senses, and I think that's a great way to look at kind of the imagination and that creative process, is to try and create work that pushes boundaries and goes beyond what's already out there. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is a heart rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at 3dfiggins.com. I will throw a link to all the stuff on Roberto and this rig as well in the description below if you guys want to check it out. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, so we give ourselves anywhere from 48 frames to however million we did yesterday, and go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with, and we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, just hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process, but most of all, the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is hopefully to encourage you guys to go off and create your own stuff using your own unique imagination, your own sensibilities of creativity, and spread something out, grow, take another step in your journey, and yeah, so let's get started. Now, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this, so let's play around here. Let's maybe make something from this perspective here, and we'll just go right through the heart, so I'll do more of a dynamic thing here. Push it back a little bit, and we'll just go straight through. So let's just start here and give ourselves an arbitrary number of frames because this is going to be a little bit different. So we'll go 60 frames for now. And we'll set here. And then we'll create a new perspective here. And make sure we just have this one selected. We'll push that forward and up. Over and up again, so it'll pierce through the heart there. Let's see, maybe we want to do more of this angle. Go up a little bit more. Let's see. And let's look at our window, animation editor's graph editor here. Just delete both of those. Let's see. And it's too slow, so we'll take this key and put it there. This one we'll put it there. Let's see. Still feels like the rotate X is not high enough here. Let's see. We can go a little bit higher here. We could rotate it down there. Put a lot more of an arc in there. We'll shoot it up. Let's see. Go up a little bit more. So let's start with this kind of pulled back even more. A little more rotate here so it shoots up. This should be entering about there. Okay, this could be a little bit does it translate? See, we need to be about there. So keep it there instead. Let's see. This should push through a little bit more, a little less down. And I think the rotation should go down a little bit more. I think we need to push the translate Y up a little bit more. Get a little bit of better arc there. Maybe have the rotate X still be up a little bit. Let's look at it again. Okay, now let's look at our spacing. Can be slow here, that's fine. Kind of feel like this should be up and back a little bit, so we're a little tighter on our spacing up here. Let's look at that now. Up, over a little bit. Let's look at it now. Okay, now it does feel like it kind of slows down a little too much. Kind of want the rotate X to be a little bit further down here. That would mean we'll push the translate Y down a little bit more as well. And maybe up a little bit more. Let's push it up a little bit, rotate down a little bit here. We'll set that, we'll set that, let's delete this one. Let's see it now. So, fairly good on our spacing, let's see. Now what if we, at the top here, did just a little bit of bend? Jeez. thinking it would be the other way around. We could always tilt it. I guess we could do that. So rotate it in Y there. Nope. Z. I think that's gonna flip this up a little bit. Right? Yeah, because it's not a full consistent rotate. Okay, let's leave it like that, because remember we're going to kind of go from this angle. I think we'll probably go actually a little bit of a 3/4. And then let's see if we can do a little bit of maybe a little bit of wiggle there. No, so we can like break it and then do just a little bit of reverberation in there. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm still dealing with a little bit of a cold here. Okay, let's look at the heart then. Maybe we can do some stuff with the heart to make that more interesting. So set that. And let's see. See what controllers we have here to play with. We don't want to do that. Well, let's see here. Do a little bit of animation on the heart itself, so we could go like grab these. What would be here? Maybe we'll go here. No, I thought there would be like a main base here, so we could do. What if we did this one and this one together? Because that moves the whole thing, right? Let's see. I'm going to do a couple little jumps, I guess. I'm going to set that. So let's grab everything we have on this one, and we'll delay it about 30 till about 30. Start off, we'll keep this one. Go up and zoom down. Let's see. Too slow. Put it on just 4s, just a quick little hop. And sorry about that. Got okay. Sorry, still getting over a cold. So let's see. And let's delay that a few frames. We'll take here, and then we'll grab both of these, and we'll go grab all that. We'll squish it down a little bit. Actually, set that. Squish it down a little bit. let's grab the arrow, and we'll go still a few more frames. And let's see, do a couple quick hops here. Set that. Do ones just on threes. Down, just a quick jump. We'll hold before we do that again though for about 6 frames just to add some variety here. Let's see. We'll do 2 little jumps here. So up and then down. Alright, and then we'll do a little bit of overlap in the top here again. So we got that. Go down a little bit again. Up here. Down there. Up here. Down there. Then a little bit of recoil. Let's watch it now. Okay. Now for this one, we're gonna have to go a little bit higher, so we can eventually a little bit higher on the recoil, so we can eventually get back to this. Let's see now. Let's see that. Give me maybe another 12 frames. Give me like 72. Back there. Let's see. I'll take 71 and put it there, so we're gonna ease into the pose again. And then once we hit like 71, we'll start the arrow going here. So those two actions kind of cross each other. Let's see, and then I'm at like 120 now. Yeah, we'll see where we're at. So we got boing, boing, boing. Let's start it about 3 frames earlier. And then here, maybe we can do a little bit of that bend. So keep it at 0. There's a little bump in our translate Y here. What's going on? It's just like a hair too low. That's a hair too high. Okay, let's watch it again. Okay, starting to get there. So I guess once we hit here, we key everything, and then we can have it fall over or something. Let's try that. Bend over a little. Then we could drop it down and rotate it back. Let's make sure we do it. Okay, so we like both of those there. Let's drop them both down here. And then rotate that back down so it would fall over. I'll try to get the base there. Set that, delete that. And that would rotate more up over here. Let's look at it now. Okay, now we need to blend these a little bit more. So I'll have this hit there. We'll delete that one. So it kind of blends those moves a little more. And hold that for another frame. Let's delete that one so we get a little bit of that move there. Still feels like it has too much hang time, so maybe we'll hold it for one more frame. And then hit it, get it on the ground a frame sooner. Maybe we can bend it a little bit more. That feels better. Now we gotta get the angle a little bit better on the spear, the arrow here. So I want to rotate it up a little bit more or down. What's that? Try and keep the distance in the back similar. I'll just copy that one there. Set that, bring it there. Yeah, it's still a little off in the angle here. This one should be up a little bit higher and over a little bit more. So let's see it now. Still feels like we should probably cut a frame out of there though. So again, let's go here. Set that. Let's delete this one. And just push everything closer together. One more frame. Still feel like we should start the bend like one more frame sooner. And then we should do some recoil there so it goes back and forth. And back, forth. Back. Let's see. Now, I think one other thing we should do is probably tweak our ending pose so it's a little more flat on the ground. See it now. But we gotta tweak this a little bit more now so we can get that. That's too far in. So rotate it up a little bit more. So at this point we're almost up, back, out, through, something like that, right? Set that, and we'll set that. And this one, and we'll look at the rotate X so it's not locked off here. So delete that. Almost want to have it hit one frame sooner for the rotate X. So it'd be a little bit of a harder hit towards the end, a little bit more of a fall. It just means I'll have to keep tweaking stuff a little bit more. Let's try it now. Should we have that a little bit up in the air, or should we clean that out? Let's look at the bend a little bit more now. Probably have it be this one's the extreme bend here. Then what if we did it so it was like all the way flat on the ground there? Something like that. And that should hit it sooner. It's taking too long to get there. Do one more hold where it's up for a little bit longer, and then hold it for a few frames there, and have it. Key that one so it kind of flats off there for a little bit. Give me a few more frames. Let's see. Too many. Throw another small move in here. Okay, let's see where we. It's not clear enough, so let's simplify it a little bit more. Okay, so we've got I think up to there it kind of works. So let's give ourselves another few frames of that. And then let's see. Takes too long. We want it to really slam into the ground. Hold it for a few more frames. This one I'm going to make a little bit less noticeable. Same there, just minimize that little move. And then let's do 160. Set that. Then we'll do one more little quick. And go back. So it gets that last little thought. Then we want to hold it on the ground here. It's like a little twitch just at the end. So we'd hold that for a couple of frames. And that might be too much. Too long, so we'll cut it. Maybe even less of it, just a slight twitch. Let's look at the arrow again and see if we like how that is. Again, I think it's too far in there. Let's look at the rotate X here. Feels a little better. Okay, let's look at the beginning here when we started. Still feel like that first initial maybe we'll move from this key to that key here. Let's move that a little bit closer. We still need to get a little bit of movement there. So maybe we'll delete that one just so there's a slight amount of movement there. No, it's not quite right. Let's push it through a little bit more there. Delete that one. This should be over and through a little bit more. Not so much rotate. Push it down and back a little bit more. Push it down there a little bit more. It's probably too much. Let's watch it now. That feels better. It's not perfect, but at least looks a little better. Still feel like we should maybe do a little more spacing here. Let's look at our translate C here. Just delete that one. So it feels like it hits a little bit harder. feels better. Kind of like it from the side, but I don't feel like you get the heart aspect enough of it. So what if we did a camera move where we... Let's try that. Maybe that might work. It might be too quick. Okay. So let's create... let's perspective. We'll do new perspective here. We'll start off with something kind of like this. We'll set everything here. Maybe we need to go out a little bit more. Let's try to put that there. We'll set it there. Go back here. Pan over to about like that. So let's see. We need to start the move from there so it's not as abrupt. I do kind of want to zoom out a little bit more so you can make sure that arrow stays in camera. Let's watch it then. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's watch it again. So let's do a little bit of animation here then. Do a little better this way. A little bit of that way. Back. So it's like okay. Let's go back to our outliner, our perspective 2 cam. Let's ease into that last one a little bit more. We'll ease out of that a little bit as well. this way. Hold that for a little bit, and then go back. So let's see. Okay, let's tweak that up a little bit more, so we don't have as much hold at the beginning. Okay, now let's minimize those moves a little bit more so they're not as drastic. And I think we'll hold them for a little bit longer. Let's see it now. Okay, and then the other thing we want to do is just make sure I'm going to do a play blast and see if we're not still in cam here, because I think the play blast will pull out a little bit more. So once, alright, just pulled out a little bit more. And I like how abrupt the camera stop is too, that we just hit. Kind of adds a little more impact to the arrow hit as well. Alright, something a little bit different for today, but I think we got something that works, kind of a little fun. So let's go ahead and take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Roberto Ferri, and his book is Beyond the Senses. I think it's a great title. A great way to think about creativity is to try to go beyond what you've seen and what you've heard. Try to get good influences, but then expound upon them, understand the fundamentals, and then go further, push the medium, and take another step in your journey each and every day. So thanks again for watching. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. This one was a little bit different, kind of playing with a couple different things, but we came out with a little fun little shot. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, I love you guys lots. You are the creative future, so keep on making stuff and using your imagination. And that'll wrap it up for today. I love you guys lots. We will see you for some more animation tomorrow.